Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I stumbled on something that we've heard about for a couple months ago. We've been trying to get, and I've never seen it until today. I was helping one of my subscribers. We're trying to investigate people that are investigating him. I mean, he is like big time under investigation, and he's from Pennsylvania, and he can't find out any information because you have the right. These people are investigating you. As you know, a lot of the stuff they're doing is freaking so illegal, it's not even funny. You have the right to investigate them back. That's life. That's America until we go full Nazi, which is really freaking close. But yeah, and in fact, we just got a letter back from these three people we're trying to investigate. The three investigators that are investigating him. I mean, he's so hardcore under investigation. He sent me the first time I've seen this document before of what a stingray is, a fake cell phone tower where they get your voice, your data, everything. It's your text. It's unbelievable, man. It's like freaking super unconstitutional. You're supposed to get a warrant, but they're abusing the crap out of it. They have one on them. And we found out the secret word that they're using for it, which is legal and illegal, is called a pen test register. So if any of you guys that follow my channel can get into your court system and do a search for pen test register. And that's what they're telling the judges. And the judges know. Some judges know, some judges don't. Some judges, say, I didn't know, but they're lying. They did know. But it's usually a tracking device, which is legal and illegal, unless, if you get a warrant. But what they're not saying is a lot of the tracking device is also the Stingray fake cell phone tower, which tracks and gets your voice, data, text, everything, which is way more than a tracking device. And in fact, the same guy that I'm helping was telling me that California is finding out that they abused the piss out of this pen test register, which was a lie. It was a full-blown, oh my god, they got everything device. And they're throwing out hundreds of cases in California. Look it up, San Bernardino. I mean, this judge is pissed that these cops lied to him, illegally got stuff. It's just like, wow. So anyways, they sent us a letter, okay, I contacted the wrong department, I got to get this information for this detective from this place, and then they're saying one of the detectives, I can't even get the information, that he's supposedly protected by Pennsylvania right to know, and I'm like, wow. And from what I know, from the people I know that know the Constitution, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, trumps a lot of that bull crap, state bull crap. And I looked up the statutes that they told me that they're using, and it's insane. I already know that you can redact his freaking phone number, address, his social security. That we're not freaking looking to go out and shoot him, harm him, or anything. We're just like, we want to investigate him. He's investigating us. We want to investigate them because the stuff that they're doing is dirty. So, yeah, the reasons they gave were just completely BS. That we can't do that. You might hurt him. Really, he's freaking hurting the person I'm helping out. He hurts people every single day. So F you. Anyway, so this is the point that I'm making a video. As you see here in front of you, this BradyCops.org. Because you guys can do this everywhere, and this is the first time I saw this website, the first time I saw the list that I'm going to show you here, but we've been trying to get it here. The Brady list and our Brady disclosure list happened because in what was it, in where's the article? Yeah, 1963 Supreme Court, the Brady, in which the court ruled that the courts and the police and the sheriffs have to start making a list of different cops and sheriffs and detectives that have been busted for lying, perjury, hiding evidence, etc. And that's when I stumbled, first I stumbled on this, and then I clicked the Florida down here and right there, and then it gave me to this, and I was like, oh my god, look at this. And this was back in 2012. I can't even imagine what's there right now. Youre Brady list includes 137 current and former cops, 57 of them BSO deputies. So apparently, if you're corrupt, wow, we're going to promote you to a deputy. And you know, clicking on the link, it brings you to the law, find law, Brady versus Maryland. This is where it all started right here. It's very, very, and like I said, we've been trying to get it. I think all you guys need to get it in your area so you know who, you know, is the dirty cops. And his sad thing is too is that they should really promote this list big time, because if you've been busted by one of these dirty cops and you know that he did dirty stuff to get a conviction, from what I know, you can bring the case back and say, hey, I want this thrown out, man. I didn't know he was a dirty cop. And because that's what's happening here in Charlotte County. You guys have been following this crap for years. They've got a crap load of dirty cops, and they're not dropping any cases. It is mind-blowing. I mean, there's just in the past couple of years, 4 to 5 different dirty cops. None of them charge high enough to lose their papers to be a cop, so they get to be a cop somewhere else. They're all misdemeanor charges. You hit the federal, if you hit a, if you hit a higher offense, then they can take your papers. No more cop. But none of them were, and so we know they're dirty, and none of their cases they had before were dropped. Unbelievable. In fact, this is the same disgustingly corrupt place where the Charlotte County Sheriff, Bill PRUMMELL, jail, was busted for recording attorneys and clients. 2,000 of them. 2,000 of them. No outside investigation. No cases dropped. I talked to lawyers, and they all told me they thought it was really weird when they went to go do the plea deal, how the freaking the judge, prosecutor, and the cops knew everything. They were unconstitutionally listening in on the I mean, it's a huge offense. It should be a national story, and it's not. And it's sad, but so we're almost getting to what I was going to show you. So here we go again. So this is how it happened that they found it. Is a reality TV show leads to disclosure of the county-wide roster of cops in trouble with the law. Wow. And they had a link. Oh my God. Here it is. For the first time I've seen this. Public records request to Fort Lauderdale. And look at this, people. Get your contacted people, find out the FOIA request email. They did this through email. This is insane. Here you go. Description. Copy of the Brady's list. It is real. You can find out who the dirty cops are in your area. You can start investigating them. You can start publicizing it. You can, if you have the money, you know, that's why I keep telling you guys, if, you know, just 47,000 subscribers, if each one of you just gave $1 a month on Patreon, I could quit our house cleaning company and go full-time to investigations and start hiring lawyers to freaking sue the piss out of these people, because unfortunately that's the only way they're going to learn. But this is awesome. I didn't think I would ever see this, because I kept hearing about it, but I never saw one. But here it is right here. Copy of the Brady's list. And then you saw, you know, this is old, but who cares? This still shows you how bad 100... I mean, by the way, look at this. This is how bad it is. 29 pages of bad cops. 135 bad cops. This is insane. Broward Sheriff was arrested for possession of anabolic steroid. Look, it's unbelievable. David Schulson, Fort Lauderdale officer Alveri, is subject of investigating regarding allegations of falsifying records. Stephen Secor, Broward County Sheriff Anthony, is subject of grand jury review wherein a person died as a result of police action. Greg Rossman, Pembroke Pines officer Jennifer Curry, is subject to grand jury review wherein a person died as a result. I mean, just wow. This is unreal. Jeanette Camacho pled no contest 3 counts of falsifying records and falsifying police reports under... People, these are people's lives they're lying about. As you see, 29 pages. As you know, I suck as a reader. That's why I have the reader. I wish I could have a reader on this. Look at this. This is insane. This is unbelievable, man. I got to speed it up because we're already at 9 minutes. I mean, this is... I'm going to I'm gonna crank. I'm not even halfway yet. Look at this shit. Like I said, people keep telling me, you know, be a good Christian. Don't swear. How do you not swear at this much corruption? Jesus Christ, man. Oh, wait a minute. This is the Easter Sunday. I guess I can't. But anyways, that's how bad it is. I'm not even done. I'm getting near the end. This is how bad it is. Do a FOIA request. Find out the email to do a FOIA request, and get your Brady's list and out these fuckers, man. This is insane. Investigate them. One thing you can do too, you can pull the records of everybody they've arrested and ticketed and start contacting them. And because with the arrest and tickets, there's addresses. You can go visit them. You can send them a letter or postcard, you know, saying, hey, did you know that your corrupt cop is on the Brady's list? Did anything happen to you? Just, wow. What a day. I didn't think I'd ever see a list, and here it is. All of you guys got to pull the Brady list wherever you're at. Get off your ass and do something.
The Brady list about bad cops is real. This is Miami's list. The Supreme Court said, there is a crapload of Punta Gorda police and Charlotte County Sheriff that need to be on this list. Where is it? Brady disclosure consists of exculpatory or impeaching information and evidence that is material to the guilt or innocence or to the punishment of a defendant. The term comes from the U.S. Supreme Court case Brady v. Maryland 1, in which the Supreme Court ruled that suppression by the prosecution of evidence favorable to a defendant who has requested it violates due process. Following Brady, the prosecutor must disclose evidence or information that would prove the innocence of the defendant or would enable the defense to more effectively impeach the credibility of government witnesses. Evidence that would serve to reduce the defendant's sentence must also be disclosed by the prosecution. Definition of the Brady Rule. Edit. The Brady Doctrine is a pretrial discovery rule that was established by the United States Supreme Court in Brady v. Maryland in 1963. The rule requires that the prosecution must turn over all exculpatory evidence to the defendant in a criminal case. Exculpatory evidence is evidence that might exonerate the defendant. Examples. Edit. Examples include the following. The prosecutor must disclose an agreement not to prosecute a witness in exchange for the witness's testimony. 3. The prosecutor must disclose leniency, or preferential treatment, agreements made with witnesses in exchange for testimony. 4. The prosecutor must disclose exculpatory evidence known only to the police. That is, the prosecutor has a duty to reach out to the police and establish regular procedures by which the police must inform him of anything that tends to prove the innocence of the defendant. 5. Not all exculpatory evidence is required to be disclosed by Brady and its progeny, only evidence that is material to guilt or punishment, with material evidence being defined as such as to create a reasonable probability that disclosure of the evidence would have changed the outcome of the proceeding. 6. However, the prosecutor is not obligated to personally review police files in search of exculpatory information when the defendant asks for it. 7. The Supreme Court observed in Strickler v. Green, thus the term Brady violation is sometimes used to refer to any breach of the broad obligation to disclose exculpatory evidence, that is, to any suppression of so-called Brady material, although strictly speaking, there is never a real Brady violation unless the non-disclosure was so serious that there is a reasonable probability that the suppressed evidence would have produced a different verdict. 8. 9. The prosecutor must disclose arrest photographs of the defendant when those photos do not match the victim's description. 10. Some state systems have expansively defined Brady material to include many other items, including, for example, any documents which might reflect negatively on a witness's credibility. 11. Police officers who have been dishonest are sometimes referred to as Brady cops. Because of the Brady ruling, prosecutors are required to notify defendants and their attorneys whenever a law enforcement official involved in their case has a sustained record for knowingly lying in an official capacity. 12. Procedures for compliance. Edit. In order to ensure compliance with Brady, the United States Supreme Court repeatedly urged the careful prosecutor to favor disclosure over concealment. 13. Conformity with Brady is a continuing obligation of prosecutors. Some prosecuting attorney offices have adopted and created specialized procedure and bureaus to meet their burden. 14. Pitch SV Superior Court. 15 is the source for a Pitch S motion. Such a motion can be made by a criminal defendant to discover complaints made against a police officer, and the investigation of those complaints, such that they are contained in the officer's personnel records. The motions can be made in a California Superior Court under California Evidence Code 1043-1046-16. Notwithstanding the broad nature of the discovery that the associated court rule and statute provide, getting actual records is problematic. In California, there is a carefully prescribed procedure governing such request, and making disclosure without an order is a crime. The statutory scheme was developed, in part, because law enforcement departments had developed a practice of purging their files concerning misconduct claims made against their officers. 17. There is a crapload of Punta Gorda police and Charlotte County Sheriff that need to be on this list. Where is it?
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.